7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Today I have a rant for you. I call it a rant already because I know that's what I'm going to do. Because it's something that personally affected me and screws over a lot of people around the country. Apparently, this law is in several different states, but it is just a state law. Why all these states choose to protect criminals and screw over the innocent is beyond me. It's a broken law that needs to be fixed. Here's what happened. Almost a year ago, December of last year, my 17-year-old daughter was riding her scooter to work. She was almost to work in the mall parking lot when a car cut through the parking spaces into her lane and they collided. Luckily, my daughter was wearing a full face helmet because she would have died otherwise. She went through the window of the car. The lady pulled out in front of her. My daughter hit the side of her, knocked unconscious. She was hospitalized for 9 days. She had 3 surgeries. Her jaw, even though she was wearing a full face helmet, was broken in 3 places on the right side. They had to put plates in her jaw. Her right femur was broken. They had to put a rod there. Her left leg, upper leg, was cut through the muscle, tendons, nerves, everything to the bone, and the first responders thought her left leg was also broken. So when I got the call at work and had to run to the hospital, what they told me was both her legs are broken. Luckily the left one wasn't, but still it was bad, and she still has nerve damage in her lower leg from it. The lady that hit her had no insurance and no license. Now, any of you that have been screwed over by the law that I'm about to talk about already know what I'm going to say. It's private property. The cops didn't do jack shit to her. She suffered no consequences, no penalties, and she just walked away. No attorneys wanted to sue her because there was nothing to get. No attorneys wanted to sue the mall. Now, the attorney that I settled on after talking to a few of them had an expert go out and look at the parking lot, and they found multiple violations, multiple unsafe parts of the parking lot, but said that in our case they didn't think it would help. The bills were about $200,000. The hospital charged off some, insurance paid some, like medical insurance, and I was still stuck with tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills. Again, the law says that the mall, for some stupid reason, or Walmart parking lot, or any business parking lot, is considered private property. Why the hell isn't there a distinction between residential private property and commercial private property, where there's a whole lot of people driving around and walking around where there's public? When the police officer told me that the woman didn't have a license or insurance, I said, so what did you do to her? And he said, nothing. And I said, why? And he explained the private property thing. I said, well, it's pretty obvious she doesn't live at the freaking mall. She had to drive on public roads to get there. You know what he said? I didn't see it. I don't give a shit, it's freaking obvious. Bitch needs to pay somehow. She needs to be penalized somehow. So this law fucks over the innocent and protects the guilty. Now, since this has happened, you know, it's been a long recovery, a hard recovery for my daughter, a lot of pain, Now here's something else. After being out of school for a few months, she goes back to school. She's on crutches. Her first week back, one of her supposed friends decides he wants to roughhouse with her, knowing her jaw was broken, knowing her leg was broken, punches her in her jaw, right where it was broken, and re-breaks it. So she has to have a 4th surgery. So I call the school about it. They say talk to the school police. School police tells me, yeah, he was just playing around. You can't press charges. Excuse me? I don't give a shit. He shouldn't have been fucking swinging at my daughter. For one, he already knew what was going on. For two, whether she had a broken jaw already or not, he shouldn't have punched her. So I actually called the police department, internal investigations, and they sided with this school fucking cop. Needless to say, after this whole experience, I've lost all respect for police. If they're going to work for a fucked up system like that and support fucked up laws like that fuck over the innocent and protect the guilty, then fuck them. Up until this point, I had always been a police supporter. I would share that picture on Facebook where it said, would you help this officer? And there's a picture of an officer all bloody. Would you help him? I'd say, yeah, and I'd share it. You know what? Fuck them. They're just as bad as the fucking criminals if they're going to be protecting them. So if anybody knows anyone that can change laws or influence people that change laws, that shit needs to be fixed. No repercussions whatsoever. Not held accountable whatsoever. She gets away scot-free, even though she was at fault and didn't have a license or insurance. That's bullshit. It's not right. It's not fair. And a lot of people have been screwed over by it. Like, just the other week, I was at Walmart. These people are standing there looking at their car, and they're saying, this lady just hit our car. I said, okay, did you get her plate information? They said, yeah, we got her plate, but we didn't get her other information. She just took off. And we called the cops, and they said they couldn't do anything because it's private property, because it was Walmart's parking lot. Now, friends and families all over the country that I've talked with either been screwed over by this fucked up law or know someone that was screwed over by it. So why in the hell is it a law? Were they paid by companies, corporations to protect them? It's the only thing I can think of. They were paid off. I can't see why anybody in their right fucking mind would make that a law. So my daughter's ordeal isn't over with yet. Also in the accident, her jaw was broken on the right side, but on the left side, upper jaw, a tooth went up into the jaw and broke, so they had to extract it. So now she's wearing braces because her top and bottom teeth on the right side don't touch, and they're trying to get it all straightened out. She wears them for 1.5 years, and then at the end of it, they're going to implant a tooth where the one had to be extracted. So, you know, we still have almost 1.5 years to deal with this. And this lady's just going on with her life. She got away with it. I doubt her employers know what a piece of shit she is. Would it be right or wrong if I called them and told them? I mean, hell, she f***ed with my daughter's life, almost killed her, caused, you know, incredible suffering at that time, and now continued suffering. Is it wrong to want to f*** with her life? No, I don't think it is. Oh yeah, and another thing. You know why I don't give a shit about showing you their picture? So you can know who they are. They had no f***ing remorse whatsoever. Now the guy, she had to keep going to school with him. I don't know the interactions. I never heard anything back. But the woman, nothing. There was the accident, and then there was nothing. No remorse, no regret, no offer to help with anything. So you know what? Here's their pictures. Both of them.